Hello everyone, Max with A1WebsitePro.com here, and today we're going to be talking about Summernote. Now, if you're a developer and you use Summernote on your applications, we all know that one of the things that's driving us crazy is like when a user goes to upload an image within the Summernote and it gets transferred over to the server and it gets uploaded to server, not base 64. I have a tutorial on that. I'll put a link in the description. But whenever they upload the image and they click backspace, instead of hitting the delete button, it doesn't get deleted from the server. So if you have 1,000 users and they're all uploading images, you could have your entire server be bloated with images that are not being used anywhere. So that's what this tutorial is for, and it's also a tutorial for you to optimize all those images that are on a folder on your website. So you can take, sometimes when they're uploading from their cell phones, that image could be 5 megabytes big, and it only has to be maybe 67 kilobytes. So I'm going to show you how to optimize those images. But to get started right away, let me direct your attention over here to my screen. I have a little test PHP file set up. So what will happen is this inventory application that I created a while ago, basically lets people keep track of their inventory. But what will happen on this side over here, I have the server, the image upload folder. And right now we'll just go ahead and go to our Summernote here. And let me get some images here of my puppy. And I'll just drag and drop it. You'll notice it gets uploaded to the server there. Okay, and let me go ahead and make that 25%. And maybe I'll grab another image of them. And we'll make that 25% wide. You see that it gets uploaded to the server. But now if I take and I hit backspace, notice it remains on the server. It doesn't get deleted. Okay. And then maybe I'll just take another image and drop it over here. And let me name the merchandise and give it a value, the location, test, bin number, test. And then I'll just hit add item. Now that information is now in the database, but we have two photos here that are not in the database. If I refresh this test file, you can see that we have one image that's in the database, in the Summernote in the database. Now the Summernote is all HTML, and so I made the script, so what it's doing is it's taking out the images and putting them in an array. And these are the files in the image uploads directory, and you can see there's 3 files, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now the files not in the database are these 2 images right here. Okay, and that's the array for those 2 images. Well, this is a real pain in the butt because as far as I know, I haven't found anything where if somebody goes to upload an image, let me grab another image here. And if they hit this delete button, there's a way that you could get it to remove off the server. But if they delete it any other way, if they right click, and delete, or if they just hit the backspace or the delete button on their keyboard, then that image, whenever, it will just remain on the server there. And so that's a real pain in the butt. Let me go ahead and put in some information here so I could show you another scenario where you might have some trouble. So let me click add item, and let me go to the inventory, and we'll go to the last page where I made these 2 tests. So if I open up this test, you can see that the image is in there. But if I hit delete item, it deletes it from the database, but notice the image still stays on the server. Okay, now that's because Summernote is HTML. So if I hit refresh again, you can see that the problem's getting worse. We only have 1 image in our database, but then we have 4 images that are in our image uploads folder. So what I did is I made another script that will delete all images that are on the server that are not in the database. So we have 1 image. This one ends in 2978. Let's see, 2978. That image there, that's in the database. Now watch what happens whenever I go to and load up this one file called updates. At the end here, I made it so that it takes the ones that are existing on the server but are not in a database, deletes them, and leaves the one that's in the server. So that's one thing that I did. The other thing that I did is it'll take these images and optimize them. If you look down at the bottom here, it's showing 31.3 kilobytes. And now let me go ahead and select Add Item. And let me go ahead and make another test. We'll put a value of 22, location of test, the bit number test. And this time I'm going to find a huge image. Okay, so let me go over here, and I have some huge images of my puppy. And let me go ahead and find those images. Okay, so these images right here. If I click this image, you can see that this is 9.42 megabytes. And I'm going to grab that and drop that into Summernote. And we will go ahead and grab another one. This one here is 9.04 megabytes. Okay, and we'll make that like that. And let's go ahead and leave the information there. And I'll select Add Item. And let me move this out of the way. And you can see that these two images, 9.42 megabytes and 9.04 megabytes, are here on the server. But watch what happens whenever I go to my updates page and I click on updates. Now you see that those images stayed there because they are located in the database, but now this image here is 56.6 kilobytes and this one here is 55.9 kilobytes. So we took those images that were super huge, 9 megabytes, and we shrunk them down. And if I double click on it, you won't be able to see much of a difference in the quality. I tell you what, instead of doing that, let me go to the inventory and we'll just go to the last page where I have that particular file or entry. And here you could see, you know, there's pretty much not much of a difference. You could still see the puppy there. And I guess I could zoom in on it a little bit. Let me go ahead and try to load it up here. So there you go. You know, not much quality loss, and this is just for tracking home inventory anyway. So you just need an image of the merchandise and the value, and maybe you need to put receipts in there, so on and so forth. Well, how did I do this? Let me go ahead. I did it with this one script right here. It's optimage.php. Now this very first part here, this is where we are getting the image sizes, and we're reducing the image quality and the size of the image, the width and the height. Okay, the image folder we're using is image uploads, and we're going to move it to image uploads, but we're just going to delete the original image and just replace it with the new shrunken image. But this is what all the magic that makes that happen. I'm going to have this script available on my website. You'll be able to go get it. Here's the function that resizes the image and still creates a nice looking image there. And you could always edit these, you know, the image quality or the picture height and the picture width if you want a better quality in there. Okay, and we use the JPEG, PNG, lower and uppercase, GIF files, and so on and so forth. Now, right down here, the problem with using Summernote is that we already know that everything is in HTML. It's encoded in HTML. So what you want to be able to do is extract all those images out of there, okay? And so that's what this code does. It takes all the HTML and parses it and separates the images. And so that's why we use this HTML entity decode, because number one, we have it encoded whenever we go into the database. You know, it's just not showing the patterns like we need it to. It's all HTML encoded. So what we want to do is decode that, and then we can look for the patterns. And then one of the things that we need to do is get the number of images. And then we use this to get the image source, this path from the HTML. That's what we're looking for. So we get the image source path only, and then we use preg match all. We take the HTML and the result, and we get the image source. When we go into a for loop, and this is where we get the actual name of the images. And then we go ahead and connect to our database, and we grab the pattern. We get the image source, the image path, and we go into a while loop here. And the while loop uses using the HTML entity decode for the description. We grab the number of images, and then what we do is we add those images together into a variable of total. And we use that preg match all to get the image. And here I just started an array in a for loop. And that array, what it does is it takes off the very first, that we use the substring to subtract the first 14 characters off of this that's in the database, because in the database it starts with the whole folder path. And then I'm printing out the array right now. I'll be taking this out of here. But for you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that in. Then that way, whenever you're using it on your applications, you'll be able to take care of it. I use array slice whenever I scan the directory. This is the reason why there's always like 2 hidden directories in there. But if you don't have any hidden directories in your directory, then this won't be necessary. Okay, so then I just print out that array of image. This is from the image uploads directory, and of course this one up here is from the database. And this is the array that I'm displaying to show the difference, like what images are in a directory, but they're not in the database. And then I use the unlink function to delete those particular images that are on the server, but not in the database. And then I just have an alert here saying all the entries and all of the images have been deleted. So I'm going to have this available. This is one script. It optimizes your images and takes all the garbage off of your website that you don't need there. I hope that you guys, I know that I could have went in depth and give you the detailed description of everything, but those videos aren't producing as much, so I just wanted to give you guys something where gives you a start where you can take these Summernote issues with the images and correct it on your server. I hope you like this tutorial. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.